and welcome. Today I'm going to be sharing a couple tips and tricks that have helped me along my self-practiced yoga journey. I have a video that goes a little bit more in depth about my personal yoga journey and how I got started with it and how I got to where I am today. I'll leave it linked in the description below if you want to go ahead and check it out. However, today's video is not about my journey, but yours, and how you can get started with it today. My tip number one is quite sweet, simple, and very blunt. It is to simply do it. To get on your mat, get on the floor, or get on the grass and simply move your body. Get in touch with your body physically and perform just simple tasks of stretching and moving. Get out of the normal realms and the normal movements on a day-to-day basis and stretch your limits to new heights. You have to start somewhere, so drop all expectations of hitting these crazy inversions and crazy postures. As for now, start slow and enjoy the process. Tip number two is to learn, to really dive yourself into the practice of yoga, and not just the asana, but yoga as a whole. The best way that I have found to learn more about yoga is to read. I find that reading words on a book and applying it daily in your own practice has really helped me grow. A couple books that I recommend would be, number one, the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali. This book is composed of sutras or threads, and it is great for all things life and yoga. It is more so on the philosophical terms of yoga, but again, a really great read and a really great book. Any yoga teacher that you know or have heard, or any yoga teacher training you attain, will make sure that you are at least familiar with this. If you are personally more interested in the postures of yoga, I recommend The Light on Yoga by BKS Iyengar. This book is great demonstration and really good for learning each posture correctly and executing it, making sure that you are not bringing any harm to your body. It goes through a lot of different movements and a lot of great tutorials. My number one for all things yoga is the Sivanand Companion to Yoga. This book hits all levels and all branches of yoga. It goes from poses to meditation to pranayama to sun salutations to inversions and everything else under the sun. It's a great beginner book and really hits all aspects of it. There are also a ton of other books available online or in bookstores, and I encourage you to find one that suits your needs and what you are looking for. Another great tool that you can use is something that my brother introduced me to at Christmas time with the gift of the yoga deck. These are simple like flashcards with different kinds of poses, and it's really cool how it is designed. It is great for anybody that is having trouble sequencing and knows a couple poses but doesn't know quite how to put them together into their own flow. You can just grab a couple poses out of this deck, make sure to read the back and understand each pose correctly, and then lay them out in front of you and go through each one. Really good for sequencing and learning each pose in depth. If you don't want to spend the money on a yoga deck, feel free to create your own, as I have. These are the simple flashcards. I used pictures off of Google and wrote my own description on the back. This is a great tool to learn even if you don't end up using them. Just simply writing them helps you reiterate and remember each pose while you are going through the process of learning. Any other tools such as the internet has a vast range of anything and everything yoga. Using social media platforms such as Instagram or YouTube are great tools, and we are living in a technologically advanced world, so we might as well make use of it. Another tip that I have is to go to a yoga studio. I personally am not a big fan of yoga studios, as I prefer the sacred space of my own room to create my yoga flows. However, if you are beginning and you do feel discouraged or like you can't learn, then going to a studio can really help you out. I am sure that there is one in your town, as I live in a tiny town and there are multiple choices. Get familiar with your yoga community and try out all different types of yoga. There are so many different branches of yoga, and I will touch on that in another video. Going just a couple times will really help you build fundamental basics of a yoga flow. With that knowledge, you can then create your own yoga flow, personalized for you. My last and final tip is to familiarize yourself with the sun salutations. Sun salutations are something that you will see in almost every single yoga teacher, yoga studio, or yogi in general. It is a great fundamental basic aspects of each main posture in yoga and can really help warm up the body and get you ready for a flow. It's a great base foundation for creating more flows, starting off with any sun salutation and slowly adding more postures within each one, always coming back to the basic sun salutation. It takes you through various postures that will also help improve your strength and your flexibility in order for you to hit more advanced postures. I have a video that will be more in-depth and going through each sun salutation. It's a great way to track your progress and slowly become physically more flexible and stronger. Those are all my tips and tricks on how I began my yoga journey. I hope that you found some inspiration and motivation to start your journey today. If you have any requests, tips, tricks, or comments, leave them down in comment below and share them with this community. I hope to see you in the next video, and until then, namaste.